outside and in.
Purification, mummification.
Self-identification.
That looks like me. Look at those ears.
Separated at birth from a hieroglyphic, but the president's guide saw another resemblance.
Mr. President, you look like King Tut.
I've been told.
Yes, it's true.
He should know about King Tut. Dr. Sahi Hawass oversaw scans of Tut's mummy that produced this likeness. Though President Obama tends to skip the eye makeup, the president's trip inspired Egyptians to display decorations calling Obama the new King Tut of the world. But even the new King Tut couldn't budge a pyramid. Still, it's good practice for trying to push peace in the Mideast.
Part of the reason that you are here today, and part of the reason that folks have been coming out all across the country is, let's face it, all across America, people are tired of George Bush. They are tired of this administration. They are tired of my cousin, Dick Cheney. We had been keeping this under wraps. Yeah, everybody's got a black sheep in the family.
According to her visions, he would, on his mother's side, be of Davidic lineage, and his father's bloodline would be related to the ancient Egyptian pharaoh, Akhenaten. During the presidential campaign of 2008, information began circulating according to which Barack Obama was distantly related to George Bush and Dick Cheney, and even Bill Clinton, through his mother, Anne Dunham. She apparently was a descendant of an ancient bloodline to which an unusually large number of top American political leaders and presidents, past and present, as well as the royal houses of Europe, can trace their ancestry. Barack Obama's paternal bloodline. One of the president's great-grandfathers is said to have been a powerful leader of the Luo tribe, which moved into Kenya some 400 years ago. His grandfather was also a prominent tribal leader and one of the organizers of an insurrection against British rule in Kenya. This rare photo of him was taken in a British internment camp. He converted to Islam and took on the name Hussein, which was passed on through the generations and is the source for Barack Obama's middle name. Obama's father was a member of the Kenyan ruling class and descended from one of the most powerful of the North Central African tribes. Many members of the ruling classes of that region take pride in the tradition that they are of the same bloodline as the pharaohs of Egypt. There is apparently some truth in this. In February of 2008, at the height of the American presidential campaign, National Geographic magazine published a feature article which threw light on this very connection. Pharaoh Akhenaten in particular had a black African mother, the Nubian queen Tiye. Nubia occupied the territory which today is part of Sudan. It is in any case quite interesting when comparing a photo of Barack Obama with a bust of Akhenaten, but one can't help but notice what would appear to be a remarkable family resemblance. It seems therefore to be no accident that an apparent descendant of Akhenaten's bloodline has been chosen to be the figurehead of the coming world government.
Akhenaten, Akhenaten, who completely changed the religious imagination of ancient Egyptians. Akhenaten, who declared that instead of all the many Egyptian gods, there was now only one god, the Aten, the sun disk itself. Akhenaten, who invented an entirely new style for Egyptian art.
When his righteous judgment will be revealed, God will give to every person according to that which he has done in his body. I want you to hear this. God's wrath is your choice. Don't ever get the idea that God pours it on some people and don't pour it on the others. God's wrath is your choice. If you choose to obey God, he said, I will bless you exceedingly abundantly above your capacity to contain it. I will give it to you pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You shall be like a tree planted by rivers of living water. Your leaf shall not wither. Your fruit shall bear its season. And whatsoever you do shall prosper. That's the blessing of God. But if you choose not the blessing of God, then you're going to have the consequences of that. The Bible's records speak concerning man's choice of God's wrath. Men traditionally have chosen the wrath of God. In Genesis 3, Adam and Eve, God said, do not eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. In the day that you do, you will surely die. You know the story of how Satan seduced them to eat the forbidden fruit. And God's angels with flaming swords drove them out of paradise. Drove them out of paradise and cursed the man, saying, you shall earn your bread by the sweat of your brow. And cursed the woman, saying, your sorrow shall be multiplied in childbirth. And cursed the ground, saying, thorns and thistles shall it grow. And cursed the serpent, saying, you will crawl on your belly the rest of your life. And those curses exist to this day. Noah's generation chose the wrath of God. Noah said, I am making a way of escape. It's a boat. God told me to make it. Disaster is coming. People laughed at him. They had never seen rain before. All they'd ever seen was dew. They were hundreds of miles from a body of water. And here was a wacko building a boat. And when the boat was made, God put the animals on it and Noah, and then God shut the door. And then the Bible says the fountains of the deep opened up. And it began to rain from heaven. And as the water began to rise, the people began to run toward the ark. And they scratched on the sides of the ark, screaming Noah's name. We believe you now! We believe you now!